Hi guys, my name is Daniel from DB Design, the developer of our GDPR plugin, and since our latest update many things have changed, and so I would like to introduce you to our new features and all plugin features in total, so to get an updated video today. Our GDPR plugin consists of many features like data breach notifications, forget me form, cookie pop-up, request data archive, unsubscribe newsletter, and contact data privacy officer. But of course it has many more features that I would like to show you. So if we jump into the demo, we could first start with the Privacy Center. And the Privacy Center is the one thing where all the features of GDPR are in one place. So if a user visits this site, he can get a quick overview of all the functions you offer for GDPR. Those, of course, can also be deactivated by you in the backend. If, for example, you do not need a media credits page or you do not need a disclaimer, you can just remove it from the backend. But to that point, I will come later. So an example is, for example, the contact DPO. Here you have a contact DPO form. You can fill out data here. You can send the message here, and that's it. So then the DPO in the backend gets a notification that I can show you later. The same for cookie policy. We provide a template for the cookie policy. So if you install pages from the backend, which is done automatically, you also get automatically a template in English written, so you can fill it out and use it for your website if you want. The same, of course, for the privacy policy and also for the terms and conditions. There we have set up a WooCommerce template that you can use, but of course you always should check it with a lawyer if this fits to your site 100%. What also is kind of new in this version is that we have a new cookie pop-up, or better, styling, as you can see it here. So this is the pop-up right now. It's in our demo. You can style the text colors. You could style the background color of the cookie pop-up. You could also style the close icon, especially for your needs, and of course the buttons for I accept or for I decline. And right now you also have a privacy settings menu. I can show it from you here, which is opening up the privacy settings for different services you are providing on your website. Like for example, here we have a necessary section. Here you have the technical cookies, or for example Cloudflare if you use it, and those ones are not deactivatable. If we would jump, for example, into the other section like Google Analytics, here you have an option to disable this service if you want, or if the customer wants it. He can simply click on it, and as you can see, it's declined, but only the service. Other services, like for example Hotjar or Google AdWords or Tag Manager, are still activated. If a user decides to decline all service, he can click on this button here, or if he says he wants to accept all services, he can click on this button here. If I click here, for example, you could see the switches were turned off and all services are declined. You also have some links here to the Privacy Center, Privacy Policy, and Cookie Policy. This you can configure if you want, so that's up to you. The same for all the texts here that are created through our plugin initially, but you can of course modify them if you want. The same, it's also translatable, so if you use VPML or something like that, that's working 100%, we provide that. We also have 3 other styles. That was the overlay you just saw. This here is a small width plugin, pop-up, that would occur on the bottom right here. And we also have a full width style that you could use if you want. If we could jump into the back end, we can see that we have here one GDPR menu, not more, only one. Before that we had 3 menu items. That was too much, so we combined it into one. Here we have the request section. In the request section, you can see, for example, DPO contact requests or data requests, and here you can export data, send data, or set it to manually done, for example. You could also see if this was confirmed, if the email was confirmed by the user, because you should not delete, of course, data that was not confirmed by the email. And you also have a new section that is called Services. Inside the services, you have the services just saw before, like, for example, the WooCommerce integration, the technical cookies, or the analytics part. And if we click on it or edit, for example, the analytics part, here you can see that was the description. Here you can set if this should be able to deactivatable or not. So technical cookies, for example, should always be not deactivatable. You can set if this is a Pixel Your Site service or an AdSense service, and you can set own cookies. If you set cookies here, for example, they will never be deleted if the service is activated. Same, you can place here a head script tag. The head script tag will be rendered on your site if the service is allowed. Otherwise, it will not be allowed and will not be rendered. So you should move all old tags, old analytics tags, all G tags, everything inside our plugin, because otherwise the scripts will run all the time without a consent from the user, which is not GDPR compliant, of course. And as you can see, we had some tabs on the left side. I can show it to you again if I go to the website. So what I did not mention is you can also click to or go to the privacy settings from the bottom right here. That ones here were the categories, analytics, marketing, or unclassified, for example. And those ones are matched here in the GDPR services part. So here in the service categories, that are the categories just saw before, you can also create own categories with an own description and so on, and reorder it if you want. Then we could jump into the settings part. As told before, there are many settings, which some of them you might do not really need. As said, for example, disclaimer or DMCA page or something like that, that may not be necessary for your website, but you can, of course, use it if you need it. Then you have multiple general settings like set your domain name, enable reCAPTCHA for the forms, allow cookies for all users for the first time, and you can set here cookie lifetime, for example. And that one, the button here on the bottom of the general section, will install all pages automatically. So as said before, it will create the terms and conditions page, the privacy center page, the data breach page, and everything you need that will automatically be created, so you do not have to create them all manually. Then you can here, for example, set some cookie pop-up settings like the colors as mentioned before. You can exclude pages if you want. Here is the privacy settings page. Here you can set an own logo if you want. You can customize the texts, and also here, of course, the colors of the buttons, for example. Then we have the privacy center. That is only that one here, and you should place the shortcode here, but that is done automatically by the install pages button, as told before. One thing I could mention is also a contact DPO. Here you can also set where the emails will be sent to, of course, who is your data privacy officer, for example, and you can set a subject. The same also appears for the forget me form, for example. Here you can also set what you want to delete if someone wants to forget his data. You can delete comments, you can delete all posts and other post types of the user he has created. You can reassign the post to another user if you want, and so on. Hopefully no one will want to have their data deleted from your site. We also offer data retention, so you can delete data after, for example, 1080 years. That is 3 days, excuse me. That is 3 years and days. You can send out data breach emails. Here's also a template inside it. You can send out privacy policy updates if you want, and so on. So everything is covered here. One major part is the integrations section. So we have many integrations available, like for example WooCommerce, BuddyPress, Contact Form 7, FlamingoDB, QForm, Formidable, Gravity Forms, Mailstar, and Pixel Your Site. So just check it here and you will get some other checkboxes maybe, or some other settings that you can apply, and you're good to go with your integrations. The services part, for example, here, that was an old one we used before, but that was not as flexible as we have it with our services now. But what you can still do, if you're either on an old version or if you want to migrate services directly from here, you could, for example, create or activate the AdWords services. Then you can write your code, so the head script tag that you should place for AdWords here. Like I will write test. You can save the changes, and then you can click on this button here. That one you should also place if you have just migrated to version 1.5. Very important. So if I click on a button here, you can see that the Google AdWords was successfully migrated to your site. And what we also do is adding a description to this service, so you do not need to create it yourself. And we are also overtaking the head script tag here. Same if cookies, if you need them, they will also be migrated. If we go back to the services part, here you can of course use it for many other services like Hotjar, Facebook, Piwik, and so on. But as you can see here now, if I migrate the services, because these ones here are deprecated, they are deactivated after the Migrate Services button was clicked. Last but not least, we have here an expert section. So here you can use custom CSS. You can use the WP Core functions. They of course do not cover all the data export or erasing parts that we offer, so you may not use it. Only if you trust the WordPress core functions, that all integrations like WooCommerce and everything is correctly working with it, you can of course use it. And what's really important is the geo IP function. So you can show the pop-up only to users who are really from the EU, and you can not show it, for example, for users from US or users from some other country. That was it. I hope you like the plugin, and I hope you appreciate all the features we have built in here. So thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye.